Hi everyone, Emma here with Hardt Studio Interior Design. I am here today to talk to you about the forecast for 2025 interior design trends. I am super excited to share a lot of these trends with you because we're seeing quite a change from the last few years. We're getting away from more of the gray and white tones that we've seen recently, and we're switching to more bold colors, patterns, textures, and more. So the first trend that we're going to see in the new year is we're seeing a lot more bold monochromatic color palettes. We're seeing colors paired together that you might not have seen in past years, such as jewel tones and other bold, deep, rich colors. We're seeing blues and purples mixed together and deep, rich browns paired with gold tones to create that sort of jewel color palette. Likewise, we're seeing a lot of natural colors such as terracottas, moss greens, and deep cocoa-inspired colors. When we talk about jewel tones, these are colors that are inspired by precious gemstones. More often than not, the colors that come to mind are ruby red, sapphire blue, and emerald green. We see these colors utilized in all different aspects of design, but with interior design, they're most often used in formats that actually allow them to have some sort of shimmer. When utilized in interior design, we most often see these colors used in formats that allow them to have some sort of shimmer, which pay homage to their natural form of precious gemstones. Jewel tones can be used for a variety of reasons. However, most often these beautiful colors are used because they add depth, sophistication, and luxury to a space. The second thing that we're going to see in the new year is a lot more rounded angles and circular shapes. Now, in the past, especially with modern design, we've seen a lot of sharp edges and 90-degree angles used. However, we're starting to get away from this in that we want to see a little bit more organic forms in our angles, and we're going to see that in furniture. We're going to see it in a lot of like archways and doors, and you're starting to see it come up in more than one facet of design. And likewise, you're going to start seeing a lot more abstract and organic forms in items such as light fixtures and even furniture pieces. Some of the supporting elements for these furniture pieces, such as the legs of coffee tables and dining tables, are starting to take a more abstract form that provide visual interest instead of simply being a plain support. And likewise with light fixtures, you're seeing a lot more of these abstract shapes that start to make the light fixture just a little bit more visually interesting. With a recent project that we completed, we utilized these curved and rounded forms in several elements throughout the space. We were able to utilize this shape in some floating shelves made of wood, which is a very unique prospect because wood is actually quite difficult to get to form into this shape. Working with a custom woodworker, we were able to achieve this modern and organic shape for the floating shelves. Likewise, with a nearby console table, we featured an item that had a really unique S-shaped base. This actually made it feel more like a work of art and less like a piece of furniture. The third trend that we're looking at for the new year is probably the one that I am personally most excited about, and that is dark kitchens. Like I mentioned earlier, we're seeing a lot of layered colors in these deeper, richer jewel tones. But in kitchens specifically, we're starting to get away from the white shaker cabinets and we're moving towards darker wood species, colors, and things of that nature. We're seeing this in cabinetry, countertops, backsplashes, even plumbing fixtures in the kitchen specifically. Previously, the take for these spaces was that lighter colors provide more light and a cleaner overall aesthetic. With this trend for darker kitchens, we're also seeing the use of darker appliances, cabinet pulls, plumbing fixtures, and things of that nature. We're seeing a lot of mixed metals with these items specifically in these darker color palettes as well. Mixing metals in a space like this really provides a uniqueness and a one-of-a-kind final touch. For a kitchen of this nature and to create that dark, moody feeling that we're after, one thing that I would start with on the floors is a black or charcoal colored tile. Next, I would utilize a dark wood species for the cabinets and top that with a black granite. Between the counters and the upper cabinets, we would utilize a patterned but dark backsplash tile. This is a great way to break up some of that color and allows you an area for some personality with a fun shape or unique texture. To complement the cabinets that we already selected, I would utilize a black cabinet pole. And with our plumbing fixtures, we would utilize a black or a gunmetal color. If you had an extra wall or an accent space in your kitchen, you could also utilize a darker wallpaper. For example, a dark deep purple or even red color could make this space really pop. Another trend that we're looking forward to in 2025 is the use of larger format natural stones. We're seeing stones such as marble, travertine, even soapstones that have really bold, dramatic veining by nature, making a comeback. And we're able to start utilizing these in the larger formats that they were intended to, thanks to new technology that allow us to have pieces of tile up to 10 feet tall. High contrast veining with expressive patterns are allowing clients to make statements in their homes or workplaces that were otherwise not achievable before this. With these stones in particular, the colors that we're seeing really relate back to nature and the natural essence of stone. We're seeing a lot of warmer colors, browns, and rich jewel tones, like I mentioned before. We were recently able to integrate a lot of statement stones into a project that we're doing in Washington. The client tasked us with creating an open lobby space that really drew the clients in to their law firm. They wanted natural feeling materials, however, they wanted something that their clients would remember. We were able to do this by utilizing their gorgeous 20-foot ceilings and accenting some of the walls with gorgeous natural materials that created this bold look that they were after. You will see that throughout the space, we were actually able to utilize a variety of different stones in this manner to make it all tie together and feel complete. The final, but maybe most exciting trend for 2025 is a recentering on wellness-focused spaces. We're seeing this a lot with people's homes and the small details that go into them. For example, mood lighting is really making a resurgence, and the importance of how you feel in your space is being prioritized over almost everything else. Spa-like bathrooms and other rooms of the home are becoming extremely important so that people feel like they really have that space where they can recoup and refresh themselves. We're seeing families in particular start to prioritize these spaces as they're wanting to make sure that their guests and their family alike can feel calm and welcomed in their home. Recently, one of the projects that we did that kind of modeled this idea of serenity and relaxation was a large bathroom for a client where their focus was on color palette more than anything. The client specifically had inspiration from the color blue because they grew up in Florida, and this color to them meant more than just being a color. It was symbolic of the ocean and being outdoors. And so incorporating this color was going to provide her with memories and feelings that other colors might not. We also utilize the color blue because it's a soft, airy, and peaceful feeling color, which is exactly what you want to feel when relaxing in a soaker tub in a space like this. We hope that you are as excited as we are about these upcoming trends for the new year. We would love for you to follow along with us in 2025 as we see more of these trends come to life in upcoming projects.